Justice League issue 50 sees the League battling the Verimidiim drones, wondering why they aren't pulling back since the drones are outgunned. Suddenly Superman is hit by one of their beams, finding it actually hurt him. Diana knows that they are now using phase weaponry and they need to de-escalate this now. Knowing they are unmanned, the League begin ripping through the drones, soon spotting an observation drone that has a living crew on it. Superman tells the team to let the crew escape, hoping that they will persuade the Verimidiim to stand down, but John knows they won't, since they will come back rearmed with more phase weapons now that they know they hurt the heroes with them. The League head back to Tothra and Diana asks about the League's loyal servants. Flash tells her to give them a break since they were asked to be in charge by the people. On the planet, they find the aliens aren't happy, the heroes are just smashing things up, and John asks who recorded them, learning that it was Batman since it was supposed to inspire and comfort the people that they have alien protectors now. But the Tothra have been passing around a small piece of the recording out of context. Diana asks what the hell Bruce did, but he defends his actions, knowing the people needed heroes, but during the battle, the heroes sounded like a pack of warlords. Flash wonders how they can help when the people hate them, but Diana knows that the aliens just see them as outsiders who excel in violence and nothing else, so she thinks that they need to find some common ground. Bruce wants them to fight and give them a stake in their future and force the people to fight their own wars. He knows that they can't save everyone, pointing out the powerful Tothra war fleet that have a problem with coordination since the pilots come from both different factions. He proposes he uses the Empress's mind control devices on them to get them to work together, but Diana protests. However, Bruce says that it's all safe technology. The Flash says that that's not who they are, but Batman is intent on using them, leaving to outfit the fleet. Heroes question Batman's choices, find him acting darker than usual, however Barry can't really tell. Later on, Diana meets with Venu, who is poring over the Empress's library. She asks him what Tarari thinks about what he's found in the records about the Holy Flesh, but Venu says that he can't share the Holy Scriptures with her now since she's part of the Way of the Spark. Tarari reveals herself, telling Diana not to believe her former friend's lies. Diana is shocked that she joined the Way of the Spark, calling her former friend an abomination. She gives Diana some of the records on the timelines of the First Elder of the Spark, and when she takes them to Batman, Diana tells him that when she combined them, she found that the Empress invented this whole culture just to keep everyone divided. Batman defends the Empress's choice and Diana questions what's gotten into him, but Batman tells her not to sulk, reminding her of the giantess story she told him and how good intentions do not make a good ruler. Diana tells him that no matter what, there is always hope, but Batman knows that Superman's little peace mission to the Verimidiim won't work, and since the Major Domos can just pretend to work together, it doesn't mean everyone else will. The rest of the League meanwhile confront the Verimidiim fleet, learning the aliens live entirely in the present, forgetting the past almost immediately, meaning they won't know why this whole war begun, despite their whole culture being in a condition of war. Clark and John smash into the ship, telling the beings to hold fire, with Flash disarming them in an instant. The heroes meet with the Archimandrite of the Sacred Now, who is confused by the past tense talk of them. The being asks what their business is, since they are at war with one another, but Flash says that he was at war with the Empress, but she is gone now and they are calling for peace. The aliens know that there are still irreparable divisions in the Tothra society, but Flash brings in the brother-sister duo to give their speech, revealing that while they are part of different paths, they are united and seek peace for the present and the future. The king gives it a moment's thought, ordering all of his men to kill the Tothra. The League learn that this was all because the siblings uttered the word future, called blasphemous by the Verimidiim, who cite the word as an aggression towards them. The League leave as the king orders his men to annihilate them, and later, Batman tells the League that they are screwing up, since violence is on the rise and cooperation between the two factions is non-existent, and it's taking too long. Batman talks about all of the lives he has missed saving in Gotham while out failing in space, but Flash knows that that's out of line, and Superman knows that it's not just about peace, since if their only goal was to get things running smoothly, they might as well have left the Tyrant in charge since she was doing a good job of that, but they need to help the people help themselves. Batman says he knows war is coming and they need to take the Verimidiim down first, and they need to rule hard or just quit. Slamming her fist on the table, Wonder Woman calls for quiet, telling Batman if he has any decency he would be honest with them. Suddenly weapons are trained on Wonder Woman, learning the palace defenses were brought online by the paranoid Batman to watch their backs. The heroes want to know what the hell is up with Batman, as the next morning Diana goes goes to the Spark District, meeting with Tarari, who tells her to ignore the look she is getting, as Diana theorizes that maybe sending 2 delegations to broker with the Verimidiim is what set this off, since they are easy to insult. While Tarari likes that theory, she knows the Elder Spark said the delegations present symbolic gifts to the people. Soon Venu and his people walk by, insulting Tarari for being different to them. Diana tries to bring them together but fails, causing the friends to go their separate ways. At dusk, the heroes learn of yet more training collisions thanks to no coordination from the fighter pilots. While they decide what to do next, they learn of 800 Verimidiim ships appearing in orbit, knowing it's an invasion force. Superman remembers Diana telling him they made better warriors than rulers, so they need to fight, but Diana won't, since she intends to end this without raising her sword. As Superman, Green Lantern, and Flash head into space, Diana walks through the library, knowing she wanted to help without interfering. She meets with Tarari and Vemu, whom she summoned, grabbing them both and telling them that she is sick of respecting evil traditions, and they need to shut up and listen, since she knows better than the evil Empress they follow. She remembers when they first met on the derelict ship and how both of the children held one another, and it didn't matter which faction they wanted to join, they both wanted a better world. So right now she's going to put them together and they are going to figure this out, because fear and ignorance are nothing against hope and curiosity. Superman meanwhile learns the invasion fleet is now fully crewed, guessing the Verimidiim realize that they aren't killers. John wants precision strikes to not hurt anyone aboard the ships, but they are soon overwhelmed, and maybe Bruce was right about taking them out hard or not at all. Batman soon contacts them as the Tothra fleet arrive, blowing through the Verimidiim fleet, making Superman wonder if he's using the mind control devices to get them all to coordinate, but Batman says that he tricked the sensors of the fighters to think they are all fighting for the same faction, something Barry finds a little unethical. John says that they can debate that later as Wonder Woman contacts them, telling them to stop smashing things and to focus on damage limitation, since Empress Sid Nix started this war on purpose and she wants a disaster like this to happen, and there's things she needs to do quickly to prevent it from getting worse. Diana's comms are cut by Batman, however, who attacks her, putting a star-shaped device on her head and revealing that all of the fighters in space have antimatter cores and they have been all rigged to blow. The ships explode in the night sky as Diana tries to stop Bruce, but he says Bruce isn't listening, removing his cowl to show that Batman has been mind controlled by the Empress. The siblings reveal themselves to be in on it as well, showing Diana that the people are spreading news about how the heroes started the war with the Verimidiim, playing all the little sound bites Batman captured of the League taking joy in smashing things or planning on using the mind control devices of the Empress. They believe Sid Nix must be restored, so later the Empress is freed from jail, proclaiming she forgives her people for what they did, but the only way she can consent to rule again is if they beg her to. The people plead with her, so the Empress says mind control will be reinstated and they will strike the Verimidiim quickly. Leaving the people, she goes to see Bruce and Diana, removing Diana's mind control device in order to tell her a tale, telling her that it took a millennia to find a way to control the people, and no matter how hard she tried there was always resistance, realizing she doesn't crave control but submission. The Empress soon learned alien conquerors were far more effective than conflicts, so she set up the derelict ship with the kids on it, aiming them at the infamous Justice League, who came and played their part well, turning from saviors to monsters, and her loyal servants sabotaged all their efforts. Also, they themselves could gain some small amount of power. The Empress rewards their actions, killing the siblings and planning on plundering the riches from the Verimidiim now that she has an excuse to attack them, and even if the League survive the antimatter explosions in space, her people would reject them now. She thanks the League though, since they gave her something she couldn't give the people, a mandate, and the people have now chosen to be repressed. Diana says the Empress thinks she's very clever, and while the war was very clever, she messed up when she sent the gifts with the delegations. Diana knows that the gifts were symbols of peace, and each sect had delivered their individual gift separately from each other, but when they were put together, both devices caused disruptive psi waves, resulting in an explosion that injured the Archimandrite. She knows no one would ever suspect, since the Verimidiim can't talk about the past and the delegates would never trade knowledge. The Empress demands to know how Wonder Woman figured it out, and she says because fear and ignorance don't stand a chance against hope and curiosity. Tarari and Vemu arrive, having become friends once more thanks to Diana. Batman also reveals the mind control over him is gone, thanks to Wonder Woman using her lasso of truth and and frying the device when they fought previously, so Batman has been playing the Empress the entire time. Batman says that good strategies win wars, and the arriving Superman, along with the still intact Tothra ships, say that good optics often win mines. They reveal the explosions in space were just illusions, and while it could have been enacted sooner, Batman needed the League's reactions to be genuine and needed the Empress to gloat, since this whole time she has been broadcasting to the people, revealing her true nature to them. The two factions riot, grabbing the Empress and imprisoning her again. Superman says that he owes Diana an apology, since despite tricking the team, she stuck to her guns, and that's very commendable. Flash wonders what happens now, since the planet is still without leaders, and Batman remembers the Giantess story, asking how it ended. Diana laughs, saying that she actually made up that story, since she wanted to see how the Empress took it, since she never would have guessed the Empress was behind all of this had the Empress not realized the story was so predictable, since she had already known what happens when warriors try and rule. Diana says that stories and myths have power, but the Tothra have had their history fabricated their entire lives, and she thinks the only thing more important than having rules is knowing when to break them. Diana makes up an ending to the Giantess story, saying the Queen just quit being a ruler and returned to her life as a warrior. As the Empress is taken to the Verimidiim to answer for her crimes against them, both Vimu and Tarari are made dual rulers of the Tothra as the Justice League head back home, told by Wonder Woman that heroes lead by example, not by command. Justice League issue 50 was a fantastic ending to Si Spurrier's spacefaring arc and his time on the book, but it's not without its troubles. I really loved how the book was more different than the boilerplate generic stuff we've seen in Justice League books of the past. This could have really just been a simple heroes versus tyrants story with the League, battling an evil tyrant and helping the people resist against them, but I love the deep dive into all of the politics and behind the scenes stuff that goes into replacing a tyrant and how one species rules don't or can't really be applied to another. While all of this was really fantastic, it's also the problem, since this issue was quite a slog to get through, with just walls of text covering each of the pages and a lot of stuff to get through. The content of it was really good, and I liked the stories about Diana being sort of in charge of all of this and kind of taking charge, but it was just way too wordy. I still enjoyed the story though, but I know many will find it hard to get through. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.